Ever get sucked into a good book, you know, the kind where you just can't put it down? This time we're diving deep into Iron Skyfall by Paul Elms Bacardi. But we're not just talking plot twists and page turners, oh no. This is about high-tech weaponry, Cold War secrets, and a mission with, well, let's just say the fate of a whole lot of people hangs in the balance. Picture this, 2024. The world is on edge as it is. And then this group, they call themselves Black Veil, decides to stir the pot. And by stir the pot, I mean they're threatening to launch long-range missiles. Not just any missiles either. We're talking about the ones hidden away in those abandoned underground silos. You know, the ones everyone thought were just relics of the past.
Yeah, those silos, they were basically the stuff of nightmares back in the Cold War, packed with enough firepower to wipe out entire cities. The fact that they're back in play, in the wrong hands, no less.
Well, it kind of makes you wonder if we ever really left the Cold War behind, doesn't it?
It's like someone opened Pandora's box and out popped all the things we were hoping to forget.
Yeah.
And the worst part, Black Veil's about ready to turn that threat into a reality. We're talking just hours away from a potential disaster.
What's really scary is that the technology behind those weapons, while old, is still incredibly dangerous. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes the things we think are gone forever have a way of coming back to haunt us. So you're facing a threat straight out of the history books. What do you do? Well, in Iron Skyfall, they take a page from that same book. They dig up not just one, but two prototype aircraft, XR220 and XR219, from the British Aircraft Corporation's TSR-2 program. Ever heard of it?
Oh, I know the TSR-2. Scrapped back in the 60s, deemed too pricey, too ambitious, and now here they are, humanity's last hope.
Yeah.
Ironic, isn't it?
You said it. But why these planes? What made them so special?
Well, they were designed for a very particular kind of mission. Supersonic, low-level strike missions. That means flying crazy fast, but hugging the ground.
Hold on, low level, like skimming the treetops at supersonic speeds?
You got it. The TSR-2 was all about stealth and agility. You could practically disappear under enemy radar. Imagine being Black Veil thinking you're all safe and sound when suddenly, boom! These things were practically designed to give their enemies a heart attack. And speaking of design, these aren't just museum relics dusted off for the occasion.
The book mentions they've been completely overhauled, upgraded with all the latest tech.
Exactly. Modern stealth capabilities, countermeasures, you name it. They even pack these babies with enough firepower to make even the most hardened target think twice.
Sounds like they spared no expense on these things. Talk about bringing a knife to a gunfight, but the knife is actually a supercharged laser beam.
It's a classic example of fighting fire with, well, a more focused fire. You see, Black Veil might have their fancy missiles, but they're relying on old radar systems. Big mistake.
Right, because these planes were practically designed to be invisible to that kind of tech.
Precisely. It's like they always say, sometimes the best tool for the job is the one specifically designed for it, even if that tool is a resurrected Cold War relic.
But all the fancy tech in the world doesn't mean much without someone to use it, right? Someone who can handle the pressure.
Exactly. You need nerves of steel to pilot those things. And the book does a fantastic job of reminding us about that human element. These aren't drones, pre-programmed to hit a target. These are real people putting their lives on the line.
I can only imagine what must be going through their heads as they climb into those cockpits. Talk about pressure. All right, so we've got our pilots strapped into these revamped Cold War marvels, about to fly straight into the lion's den. What's going through their heads right now?
Well, imagine this. You're flying so low, you can practically feel the desert heat on your face, and you're pushing past the sound barrier.
We're talking dodging canyons, skimming mountains, all at supersonic speeds. It's giving Top Gun, but with a Cold War twist.
And a whole lot more at stake. Remember those surface-to-air missiles Black Veil has?
Right, those things.
This is where it gets really dicey. Our pilots have to rely on lightning-fast reflexes and those countermeasures we talked about.
Talk about a high-stakes game of chicken.
You've got it. And then comes the really tricky part, delivering the payload. But these aren't your everyday bombs.
They're not dropping leaflets, that's for sure.
No, sir. We're talking about bunker busters. These things are designed to burrow deep underground before detonating.
Talk about precision. One wrong move and, well...
It's not a scenario you want to think about. And to make things even more complicated, the base has a self-destruct sequence. It's a common tactic.
So if the missiles don't get you, the base exploding will. No pressure.
The author, Elms Bacardi, he really captures the tension of that moment. It's a real nail-biter.
They make it out, thankfully. Just in time to watch the whole base go up in a blaze of glory.
Mission success, but man, talk about a close call. Makes you wonder, though, could this really happen? in the real world.
Right, because this is all based on, a work of fiction. Could those Cold War ghosts actually rise again?
That's the question, isn't it?
Hmm.
In a world where tech is advancing faster than we can keep up, I think anything is possible. Iron Skyfall might be fiction, but it makes you think about those possibilities. Makes you wonder what other surprises might be lurking in the shadows.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive into Iron Skyfall. If you want a story that'll keep you on the edge of your seat while making you question everything you thought you knew, this is the one. Until next time, keep exploring those possibilities, keep asking those tough questions, and most importantly, keep diving deep.